Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live. I'm Rhonda Kelly from Rhonda's Readings, founder of Ocean Wings Psychic and Spiritual Fairs. So obviously that's the reason why we're here tonight. So I've got two awesome stallholders, exhibitors at my psychic fair next Saturday, the 5th of November from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So I'll just do a little banner for that so that you can see that. So this is the website here for oceanwings.com.au. So just to remind you, if you watched yesterday, you would have already seen this banner. So Ocean Wing Psychic and Spiritual Fair, Saturday the 5th of November from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Tramsheds in Forest Lodge. So it's just upstairs. If you come from the front entrance, it's upstairs. If you come from the back entrance, it's downstairs. So it's in the middle level. It's a Tramsheds. It's a community centre, and that's where we are. So we have discounted entry of $5 if you buy that online, just with a ticker going across oceanwings.com.au. And the entry ticket basically it goes into the draw for a prize. So I've got prizes to the total value of $450. So I've got psychic readings and I've got a gift hamper. So I'll be explaining that in future Facebook posts. So that's what's on offer, and there's also talks and presentations. And both the people I'm interviewing tonight are actually giving talks. Both very talented, very very different. I'm really excited about one of the talks in particular, but I'll let him explain that to you. So that's just my little ticker of who I am, and this is obviously me. So what we're doing is going to introduce the two men, and we'll do sort of some snapshot readings, particularly for Lenny. Lenny's our first guest. So if you would like your chance of having a reading, remember it's just a very brief reading. You've got to like and share or subscribe to my YouTube channels, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly or Ocean Wings Psychics, and let us know you've done that, and then ask your question. So let's bring up Lenny. Hi, Lenny.
Hello.
How are you?
A bit sniffly at the moment, but then again,
that's
probably a bit. It's probably the weather that we've been having lately. 4 seasons in a day, sort of thing.
Yeah, it was very hot today. Yeah, so that's okay. I mean, hopefully you're feeling a lot better and fighting fit before next Saturday. Not next Saturday,
Yep.
Saturday week, the 5th of November.
Yep.
So just got some people watching. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Pat. Hello. Thanks for watching. So, Lenny, I've known you for about 8 years or something.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, something like that. If you would like to...
4 or 5 years, since 4 or 5 years, since kindergarten.
Yeah, kindergarten. I actually never went to kindergarten, but there you go. It didn't do me any harm.
Oh,
and Robert's here as well, watching and saying hello, Rhonda and Lenny. Okay, so for people...
Rob, g'day, Rob. G'day, Rainbow Rob.
Got someone for watching overseas. Okay, hi, Lade. All right, so for people who don't know you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Lenny, and what you do?
All right, I'm a clairvoyant medium. Clairvoyant or psychic means I can see what's happening around your past, present, and potential future. And the mediumship is my ability to connect you with loved ones in spirit. And loved ones can be animals as well as humans.
Sure. Okay.
I also do a little bit of other things as well, like angel intuitive, Reiki, dream interpretation.
Okay. Yes.
Not on the live stream tonight, but at the fair. If you've got a dream,
beautiful.
If you've got a dream or a series of dreams that you've been having, do your best to explain what you've been having, and we can interpret that.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I do dream interpretation as well, and sometimes I get lots at once, and then I don't get any for a few months. But yeah, that's certainly an option. So the people watching, Brianna, Kelly, Nicole, Pat, Robert, and Ify, if you would like to let us know that you've subscribed or liked and shared. Okay, so Robert has asked a question. I know he's already subscribed to my YouTube channel. Robert, if you can subscribe to Ocean Wing Psychics as well on YouTube, that'll be great. So I'll just post Robert's question. He's the only one that's... Oh, hello, Sarah. He's
Hello,
the only one that's
Sarah.
asked the question so
Lenny,
far.
any messages? He always asks
From
for
Mum.
messages from Mum.
Mm.
Rob always asks for messages from Mum.
Yes.
From his mum. Okay. Okay. I'm being shown Mum's headstone here, and Robert knows that I know where Mum's headstone is.
Mhm.
So, I'm getting a sense of either it needs cleaning or it has been cleaned, and Mum likes the job that's been done on the headstone there. I know that when we're with the spirit things, they don't really hang around the headstone in that sense. But for Robert's case, it's like Mum's very proud of what's either happened or is planning on happening that way. Okay.
Beautiful.
And it's in a little way, it is harder to read for friends because we know them so well. We know things that are happening there as well. But I'm actually want to say with Robert, I'm feeling like that the house move is becoming more. It's becoming more imminent or closer. There's things happening with the house move.
Okay.
There as well, and it's a matter of. It's just a matter of relaxing and going with the flow. Robert will know what that means because he's told me certain things in the past that's around the house move, but it's like it's just we need to relax and go with the flow. Okay, and I'll leave that with Rob.
Beautiful. Okay, thanks for that, Lenny. Yeah, I mean, even though we both know Robert.
I'm just going to go off mic. I'm just going to go off mic and camera for 10 seconds, really quick.
Sure. I was just going to say, just because we both know Robert, it's, sometimes you pick up things that you don't know about. If you've known someone for 10 years, sometimes you pick up things from further than that. So that's not sort of too bad, really.
Yeah.
All right. So just looking at, hi, Debbie. So we've got Debbie watching, got the Gemini watching, got Sarah Rose watching, and I mentioned the others. Okay, hi. So I have a bit of a lag, I believe. I'm not actually seeing, when I make changes, I'm not actually seeing that straight away. So I'm not sure if there's been any recent questions. Just give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come back on, Lenny. Beautiful. Okay, put you back on. So we'll welcome Lenny back.
Yep.
Hi, Lenny.
And
and Brianna, thanks for watching. Okay, so Robert has given some confirmation saying, thanks, Lenny. I understand completely. Blessings, Rob.
Yeah. It's just not our place sometimes to reveal every single detail.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why when I do lives, I just do snapshot readings just to show what you actually offer.
Yeah.
So, Lenny, when you actually do a reading, do you use all your clairs? Do you see, hear, feel? What do you normally get?
It depends on entirely what they want to show me. So if they want me to hear something, I'll hear something. If they want me to see something, I'll see something.
Yeah.
Okay. For example, I do see spirit orbs and aura colors as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
So sometimes I'll be just around my house, like at night, and that. Like if you accidentally stare at the ceiling headlight, I'll get it right in a minute. Ceiling lights for a little bit too long, and you get like that little sphere of. You see that little sphere of light. I see that sort of thing.
Yeah, interesting.
Like in blue or purple, red, orange, whatever color.
Yeah, beautiful. So you would look at a person and you would see that around the person. Is that what you're saying?
I would see that like in either speckles or like shaded colors around the person.
Wow, fascinating. Okay. Interesting.
And if we've got any other questions, that would be great. Otherwise,
yeah, we don't actually.
Could I say something?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Say what you want.
I was going to say something, say around you, Rhonda. It's like I've seen
Oh, okay.
a little bit like what I was seeing in my aura photo that I got at the Sydney Mind Body Spirit lately.
Right.
So there's a bit that I'm actually seeing a bit of green around your head. Would you understand that?
No, but
There's some
I guess
there's
that's
healing
okay.
something, or there's. I'm just going to keep it general, but it's like there's
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit
okay.
of healing or something happening around the
Around the head.
forehead, or like
Okay.
around that part of the head. Would you understand that?
Not really, but yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm incredibly busy, obviously organising this event and things going on, but I haven't sort of thought about healing or giving myself healing, so I'm not sure. Maybe that's something
It
coming,
could
or I'm
also
going to
be.
understand something about healing.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just leave
Mm.
that there. All
Yeah.
right.
All right. Thank you for that, Lenny.
Um.
I was going to
mm,
say when you see when you see colours around people, I sometimes see like a mirage. You know, when you look at something in the distance and you see the heat
Yeah.
makes it sort of fuzzy. I sometimes see that energetic field around people, but I don't tend to get colours. Yeah, so
I
that's
also
interesting, Lenny.
and I also feel the like the
Yes.
magnetic energy with some people as well, because
Okay.
I'm open, I'm empathetic that way,
Mhm.
and this is a general who for anyone who is empathetic, you would
Mm.
know if you in a way you would know if you can trust people or not, because you would get
Yes.
that magnetic
Yeah.
either attraction or repulsion with that
Yeah.
person, and
I
it's not always something that you speak about either. It's something that you would just notice.
mm, I've done I used to get that. Well, I still get that, but I've done it a bit differently. I have a very acute sense of smell physically and psychically. So I've calibrated that with my guides that when I meet someone, if they smell bad to me, they've got bad intentions. And then I've distinguished that again. If they want to take money from me, they smell a certain way. If they want to waste my time, they smell a certain way. So I've actually
Yep.
done that, and I just get an instant smell, like that instant feeling. But I trust that.
Yep. And I don't know
Yeah.
if you've said anything on your live stream as well tonight, but we do get a lot of scammers on these
Yes.
live streams as well. So
Mm.
if you get anyone that's on somebody else's live stream and they're asking for you to send them a friend request
Mm.
or money or anything like that, please do know that that's not us. We do not
Yes.
send any
Absolutely.
friend requests. We do not send requests
Mm.
for money or anything like that. They are
Absolutely.
scammers. Please block them.
Yeah. And I've got a warning about that in the text of this live, and I also have a warning on my
Okay.
website, and I post warnings on Facebook. But basically, I had a scammer after last night's live send out friend requests.
Yes.
And my friends are straight
Yes,
on
I
it, so
know.
they all reported them. So that's an example, and often they're very persistent. They'll say, you need a reading, you've been cursed, you need this, you
Mm.
pay this amount of money, subscribe, and please just don't do anything. Just you can look on my website for my phone number, contact me directly to see if it's me, or send me an email or something. But don't. Like Lenny said, I don't solicit things. So yeah, thank you for reminding me that, Lenny. All right, we do have one more question for you from Haley. So Haley's
Hello,
actually
Haley.
Haley has
I have
subscribed
some.
to my YouTube channel. I have some huge
Okay.
exams next week that have a lot of information on all of them, 4 exams. Will I succeed at all of them? Thank you.
You've got to remember with the universe, Haley, that the universe hears everything. And right now, the universe is hearing a lot of worry and a lot of stress from you. So we've got to balance our emotions that way. Okay?
Mm.
So have a, and this is a big lesson for all of us, is to try and balance our activities throughout the day. So like we have 8 hours of work, 8 hours of rest, 8 hours of play, something like that, whatever suits you. But you've got to make play and rest a priority in that sense as well. So don't throw all your eggs in one basket there. All right. As for the exams, okay. I'm actually seeing that would this be for some sort of either office job or an apprenticeship for an office job, like a secretarial something or other. Could also be, I'm just seeing a lot of paperwork. I know you said exams, but I'm seeing a lot of paperwork in general. So this would involve a lot of paperwork, office work, finances, accounting, something along those lines with you. Would that be
so
correct? Please let us know.
This is Hayley, who's studying at university in America, and she's studying
Okay.
either biochemistry or biomedical science. So she's studying anatomy and a class. I missed that.
Anatomy
A class
and examination.
a class examination and evaluation. Okay.
Okay.
So
And
the theory and practical.
Okay. I'm feeling like this is a long-term thing as well. So like 2, 3, 4 years. But it's like this is what Hayley wants to do for Hayley. This is something that really drives Hayley to keep going, to be the best that Hayley can be. All right. So I'm feeling like at the moment, is because of the stress and anxiety, it's like you're questioning what it is that you really want to do. It's like, do you really want to do this at the moment? So take the anxiety out of it and really look at why you're doing this. Okay, and just a quick card to pull up for Hayley there. I've got my messages from the angels card by Doreen Virtue.
So it's a practical exam with a written component.
Okay. But just rest assured, Hayley, that you're actually doing it for the right reasons as well. Because it's like you want to. I'm actually feeling that you're a healer as well, and you heal by interacting with people, not necessarily the hands-on or the hands-off, but it's like just your presence. Your presence with other people, that is what helps you with their healing as well. Okay. Yeah. There's the answer, Hayley. Time out.
Okay.
Time out. You're so busy taking care of everyone else's needs, but now is the time for you to stop and take care of yourself.
Okay.
All right.
And
so even if
as far as her exam, you feel like her exams will be fine once she.
The exams will be fine as long as she stops worrying.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. So, did you have anything else to say, Lenny, about what you're offering on Saturday the 5th? You're obviously doing readings.
I'll be doing predominantly readings. I wasn't quite sure if I was doing a talk or not.
You're welcome to do platform if you like. I do have. I'm basically alternating between an educational topic, how to or what does this involve, and then platform. So, in other words, people can come on a day, listen to the talks. Yeah, you'd like to do a platform?
If I ever did platform, I would probably just go straight into talking, bringing through the spirit energies anyway.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's the sort of thing that I do naturally anyway.
Sure. Okay.
And if I'm on song with or in tune with something or somebody, I'll just go straight into it.
Okay. Beautiful.
They don't even have to ask a question some of the time.
Okay, beautiful. So on Saturday, the 5th of November, you'll be doing readings from 10 till 7, and you'll also be doing platform. I think by memory I've got you at 2 o'clock. I need to check that. But as I said, there'll be platform readings during the day where people will deliver messages to the audience. And in your case, Lenny, you'll be doing platform mediumships, connecting with past loved ones.
Yep.
Beautiful. Oh, well, thank
Beautiful.
you, Lenny. Thank you for.
Thank you.
And do you want to plug your social media or anything? What's your Facebook? Do you have a website?
Yep. Anyone who wants to find me can do so. Just jump on my my Facebook page, Lenny Dawes Psychic
Mhm.
Medium.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to hit the send message button, and you can contact me there. And I think
Okay.
I've
Beautiful.
also got my phone number on the page there as well.
Okay. Sure.
I've got my phone number on the page, so anyone can just ring or leave a text message or that sort of thing. However,
Great.
I do ask if you ring the phone number that you do leave a message.
Yeah.
You do leave a message. Otherwise, I
Mm.
will not return the call. I get too
Sure.
many of those scammers. I get too many of those scammers and telemarketers
Okay.
calling me, and they
Okay.
don't leave a message. Alrighty.
All right. Okay. Thanks a lot, Lenny. And I'll see you soon. Okay. Then.
See you
Bye.
later. Lovely.
Bye.
Lovely to see.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that was Lenny Daw, who's going to be at my event. So as you see, Ocean Wing Psyche and Spiritual Fair on Saturday the 5th of November at the Tramsheds. So that's an awesome complex. There's restaurants, cafes, that sort of thing, supermarket, and we're above all of that in the community centre. I was going to say community legal centre, but because I used to work in community legal centres, but it's not. It's a community centre. Okay, so what I'll do now is bring on Leon, who's our next guest. What Leon does is really fascinating. It's really interesting, and there's a real, I feel, spiritual need for it. But I'll bring him on, and he can talk. He can introduce himself and tell us about what he does. Hi, Leon.
Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Rhonda.
How are you?
Pleasure to be with you. I enjoyed what Lenny had to speak with. I'm good. And I would just share before we start that if the what I call the internet drops out, I'll wait patiently until it comes back, so no one will miss anything. I'll just won't talk until they come back. So
All right.
We'll be fine.
Thank you.
But no, thank you for having me. It's great to be on board, and I'm really looking forward to getting out there again and doing it apart from the Mind Body Spirit Festival, into little country areas or little small psychic fairs. It's really good to get back into those again.
Absolutely. And I obviously attend the major festivals, the Mind Body Spirit festivals, but my reason for hosting them was that I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to do it sort of my way. But I also there were literally chunks of the year where there was nothing, no events planned. So I hosted my first one before COVID, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then I had to plan and cancel 6 of them one year. And I actually did a virtual reading room during COVID. But obviously I'm really excited because it's now back to doing an in-person fair. Yeah. So
it's so good to connect with people. Yeah. No, I love that. I was doing them in Victoria, Tasmania, New South Wales. I just loved it. But it's so nice to get back and connect to people at grassroots level. That's what I really enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's probably people watching that don't know you and don't know your background. If you could just tell us about yourself and how you started doing what you're doing now and what you'll be doing on Saturday, November.
Fair call, Rhonda. Yeah, my background is I was a teacher for 33 years. Don't hold that against me. I was well known for what I was doing. And I started in probably about 2008. I started doing psychic readings. And I remember the deck that I used, which is John Holland's deck, Oracle cards. And I actually met him in Melbourne at the Mind Body, at a psychic, not a psychic expo, it was a Hay House event. And I had the opportunity just to sit with him, one-on-one, no one around, and ask him, John, how do you use your deck? And he shared all that information with me, which was fantastic. And slowly those doors opened. I didn't expect that to happen, but it did. And so I've been doing them now for what's that, close to over 15, 16 years now, and use that same deck, but it just keeps on developing and evolving. So what I found myself doing now since I left teaching in 2012 is life has taken me on this journey of activating my healing ability. I do a lot of work with people who I call transitioning in their life. So people who come to me, generally, I do a basic numerology with them to find out who they are. It's like looking at a car. There's a V8, a V6, or a two-cylinder car, whatever it is. It gives me a bit of a background of who they are. And generally, those people who come to me, relationship has ended, their career is changing, there's a whole shift. So I will life coach them through that, or spiritual coach them through that to understand the bigger picture of what's playing out in their life. And then I draw the cards. And the cards, what they do is confirm what we've just talked about. And generally when people leave me, they feel so much more relaxed. They feel at peace. I see the stress that's gone out of their face. And the phrase they often share with me is, I feel so much lighter. And to me, that's the best compliment, that they can actually realise that they're moving forward with their life. The challenges that they are facing is part of their growth and evolvement. So that's all part of what I've been doing for years now. But you've also asked me, where is my life going now? For those that obviously don't know, my partner passed away about end of August. She had cancer for 2 years. That came as a result of that was she was in palliative care with me at home, and she was able to, we organised all this together, we spoke about it. Yeah. She passed away what I call consciously, with dignity and grace. She was present right up to that moment. She saw me. She said to me, darling, you're fading away. I saw the beings come to collect. And it was such a beautiful dying process that had no fear. She was conscious. And what my work is now doing, and I'm seeing the support for this, is to be able to teach people and family who have got what I would call an illness where they know that they're going to die, or terminal illness, doesn't necessarily answer, but they know that they're dying, and it's preparing them to be able to be ready to deal with all their affairs in one respect and be at peace when they pass over and leave this world, and understanding that death, the same as birth, is a process. And I want to be able to teach people how to be able to do that. And the other part of my work that I'm seeing coming to the fore is to be able to do ceremonies for people to spread their ashes. And I did that for Terenia as well, and it was just a wonderful experience. And I think, as one funeral director said, there are so many people who've got ashes sitting on their mantelpiece at home, and they don't know what to do with them. So I feel that's a whole other area for me as well. So what I'll be offering in our presentation that I do, will be explaining that whole thing about conscious dying with dignity and grace, and taking questions for people to tune into what they want to ask. I will do that. Then also I'll be doing my readings as well. I'll also be doing, part of that will be energetic healing that I will do just by the communication. I see that as part of that. And the other part that I do, which is probably not I'll be offering there, but I do a lot of sound healing as well. So up here in the Blue Mountains, every week I have a group of people who come, and that varies from week to week how many people. We do sound healings, and again tonight I will be doing a sound healing over the internet, which I've been doing ever since COVID hit. And what I'm seeing is the impact on that as well, because everything connects on a quantum physics level. So you don't have to be in the room. It's the intention that you set and everyone else set. So that's who I am. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, that's absolutely fascinating. And I've just got a bit of echo, I think, that you're in when I talk. In terms of, if you have a diagnosis, or if you're unwell, there's often grief with that, grief before you passed, or grief for your family before you pass. So it's not just sort of transitioning that there's grief. There's there could be layers of grief in people that you talk to. So it's really interesting. It's sort of, and that's when a bit of fear kicks in, and you tell, people pass on their judgment or their opinions, and really all the books I've read on spirituality, I don't actually know what happens because I've never died. So part of it is being able to channel. But what do you do in a situation where there's just confounding grief, where there's been, even when there's been an illness, a diagnosis, they appear to be
before or after?
And then there's another before transitioning.
Oh, yeah, really good question. I love the way you've put that. It's actually talking to the individual themselves and finding out where they're at. I have to acknowledge and honour their own feelings, their own fears that they may have, what other unfinished business that they may have, any grief that they may have in relation to unresolved emotional issues that they have with their family members or other people in their life. That to me is really important. And I think part of the process that I've discovered with my work is people will often say to me, I've never shared that with anybody before. Tears flow, which when I see tears, I love it, because we've actually hit the nail on the head metaphorically.
Yeah, that's right.
So to me, it's actually allowing them to release what they need to release, because in doing that, they're able to then transition to the next stage of their life on a soul level with that not carrying any of that baggage with them, because whatever they've got, they've unresolved this world, they'll take it into the next world as well.
Absolutely. And that happens countless times in readings. Sorry to interrupt. Countless times in readings, there's a message of, I'm sorry, or I could have been better. And, it's quite sad to think that they carry so much of that burden in the afterlife.
And this is the point that I feel is so important. That's why I said before, whether I'm life coaching or spiritual coaching, I've got to tune into where the person's at and what language that they're appropriate, or they're comfortable with. Because there's no point me talking on a soul level if the person doesn't relate to the soul level. If they're talking on a human level, as in the physical world, well, then I've got to talk with that language. But one of the things was so beautiful for me with Terenia, I mean, I had not so much issues, but things that I wish I'd done this or done that or done something else. But and my gifts aren't about mediumship, but I have people who've got gifts that I don't have. And the messages that they were giving to me from Terenia was she was so absolutely wrapped in what I did for her, had absolute nothing more but gratitude. From that point of view, I just felt in a peace with that. And that's basic. We're all human. We're doing the best we can with the resources we have at this particular moment in time. Why do we, we beat ourselves up? But that's important, I think, for people to actually, it is important to actually deal with all those things before they pass, so that people can actually be in a space of inner peace for them to pass nicely across.
Absolutely. And in terms of sort of the psychology of someone that knows they're going to die, do they have thoughts or regrets sort of in recent weeks, or can it go back decades, or is there sort of a key formula, or it's just
everyone's different. There's no set formula as far as I'm concerned, because everyone is different. We'll have people that may be dealing with issues that relate to teenage years or in their 20s, or past relationships that they've had that haven't been resolved. And that's part of my life coaching skills that I have with people. Is what did you learn from that relationship? Because you had a soul contract with that person to experience and learn what you needed to learn. So when you see that from that perspective, you take it's like watching a movie. You see the characters playing out in a movie. One's playing the villain, one's playing the victim, one's playing the hero. They all have a role to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I got from Terenia from the other side was everything makes sense from the other side. Everything. There is no judgment on the other side. So that, to me, is part of, I feel, is my role in talking, one, to the individual who's going to pass, is putting them at an inner peace within themselves, but then also talking to the family, because the hardest part with family is to accept that their partner or their one of their family members is going to pass. They have to also be comfortable with that as well, because that's all part of the whole picture.
That's right. I mean, you can have family members that have a lot of guilt, and particularly if the person is empathic, they can pick up on that guilt and adds to it. And I see that a lot in my family, but it's sort of, some families are more functional than others and better energetically because they've resolved things or just gotten on with things.
Yeah. So it's an interesting topic. I'm really looking forward to sharing my experience with people, and then allowing people to ask their questions at that time too, and then linking obviously all the psychic readings that I do for people as well, and to see where it all goes. It's just lovely to get back into it again.
And you'll be presenting between 1 to 2 on Saturday the 5th. Basically, that's your title of your talk, Conscious Dying with Dignity and Grace. Will that be an interactive talk, or will you?
Oh, no, there'll be. I will do what I find the best thing when I do presentations is give basic information and then let people ask their specific questions, because that to me is where the real gold comes out, because it's specific to an individual person, and I can target my answer for them. Because not one answer suits all. They've got their own individual questions that they've got. But as I also say to people in my readings, don't believe anything I tell you. You're in charge of your life. So to me, it's about empowering people to take control of their life and not say, Rhonda said this, or Lenny said this, or Leon said that. That's not what this is about at this particular time on our planet. It's about us stepping into our own personal power, tuning into our own inner guidance, because that's where it is. So take what we share, but then you've got to filter it with the word of discernment, what resonates with you.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many, my mind's ticking over in terms of any sort of family or situation you would encounter. There's potential legal issues. They might need help with that. They might need mediation to help resolve
a big
some.
one.
Yeah, is that something you do with your? I mean, obviously you're not giving legal advice, but is that something you do with
not
with your
legal
life
part?
coaching?
That's not something. Oh, absolutely. I actually have done a number of people where I've had couples come to me, and I do couples assistance in that regard. I love actually doing that work. And again, because it's actually helping people come to their decision. Sometimes they already know what the decision is. They just need someone to highlight it or express it from here, not from my head, from here, and to be able to go, okay, because this might sound awful to some people, but some relationships are fine. It's done. It's complete. They've come to life. They've had their purpose, why they came together. It is now time to move on. And society has its way of demonizing people who end relationships. But if it can be done in the most beautiful, gentle way and understand that your life will move on, it doesn't mean that you have a hatred for somebody, which is a strong word, but it's actually it's a love and gratitude for what that relationship was about. And in my life, I've had those experiences. My marriage ended. And I look at the gift that marriage is, as tough as it was, there was so much gratitude that I got from that now allows me to do what I'm now doing. Beautiful. And then, and I look at other relationships that allowed me to grow and evolve. And one other relationship that just completely opened my heart, which was wonderful, and how I helped her move on with her life. So if we can come from that perspective, as opposed to what the media and society tells us we should or shouldn't be doing, we're in control of our life. And I think that's beautiful to be able to help people through that.
Oh, absolutely. We kind of touched on this in a roundabout way. I did a solo live with Psychic TV Australia last Saturday night. And we were talking about the afterlife, and someone asked me if all of your soulmates, all of your previous relationships meet you when you transition, or how do you know which one? And I said, well, all of them, because they, at some point in our life, they've had value. You've connected on some level because you've needed to learn something about yourself or get past that. And I don't see that any one is less significant than the other.
No. Everyone has a role to play. It's like I don't know if you've ever been in a play. I thoroughly enjoyed being in a production of a play. And at the end of it, you all step back and go, how did we do in our role that we played? And I love that experience. As a person who was very much into sport, I was in a production called Fiddler on the Roof, played for the Edgar. I loved doing that. The energy that I got, but at the end of it, it was amazing. I love that. I was going to share something with you then, but it took me off on a tangent. I forgot what it was. No, it doesn't matter. It's all good. Something else will come back.
Just out of curiosity, what did you teach? What were your teaching methods?
There were many things. Phys ed was my main modality, phys ed and maths. Phys ed, maths, food technology, health, commerce, personal development, religion. But underpinning it all was personal development. I was empowering my students to think for themselves and own their own worth. That's what I was about. And that's why my whole life has continued in that line.
And that's a very healing attitude, and that's what you're doing now, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I remember when I left teaching, and this is why I think it's important what I'm about to say for people who are transitioning into another chapter of their life. I remember when I left teaching, I think it was about a year and a half to 2 years, I thought, who am I? Because there was always a label about, I'm a teacher. But what ended up happening, I realised I'll always be a teacher, but my audience has changed.
Yes.
And that's exactly what's happened. And particularly part of my travelling around the world to spiritual places has activated a lot of my healing abilities now that I use.
It's interesting. I thought of doing a decade after my science degree back in I was early 20s, and I didn't. But I ended up, I've always taught in some way. I became a senior scientist and a lab manager, and I taught, and I
Yeah.
did that. And then I actually went and did a law degree. So I worked in community legal centres. I organised community legal centre, CLE, community legal education, and taught with that, or had their schedule for that. So I've always sort of taught in some way. And now as a psychic medium, I teach.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, and I actually read, and my husband has a teaching qualification as well from a science engineering background. But I basically read some things about teaching, of how to teach, and I was doing that anyway. Ask people what they know, target it to them, go with their questions. So it was, and I feel like that's a good teacher sort of does that intuitively anyway.
Totally. Well, my major training when I left my marriage, I did a whole heap of study, a lot of healing, a lot of inner work. But the main one I did was NLP, neuro linguistic programming. That is the foundation of all my coaching that I do with people, because as soon as someone comes towards me and knowing they're going to have a reading, I'm literally tuning into them straight away, and I'm looking at their body language, I'm looking at what they're wearing, where my eyes go. All those things I connect with before I actually do a reading with them. And I have a pretty well, I'm not trying to sum them up, that's not fair to say that, but I have a pretty good idea of where they're at before they even sit down. And Beautiful. You can see it, and then it comes out later on. And then I trust, I don't know why, sometimes I'll say something, I don't know why I'm saying it, but 10 minutes later I go, now I know, it makes sense now.
Absolutely.
But
and I believe that's what we need to do as intuitive people when we read. I remember one of my very first readings, I read a really well-dressed lady, and I just kept getting lizards. I could smell lizards. I could see lizards. I felt like lizards are crawling on me, and I thought, I'm not going to say lizards. That's ridiculous. And I stopped myself from saying it, and I did the reading, and she sort of didn't change her expression much. And as she was getting up, I said, what do lizards mean for you? And she burst into tears. And it turned out that so I'd picked up on her son who'd passed, but her son her boys were twins. So one was living, one was deceased. And whenever her and her son saw lizards, they thought of the brother and the son, because they died at the age when they used to play with lizards, but it was actually a thing they spoke about regularly. So it's just that thing, you just have to trust if you get something, there's a reason for it.
I remember Doreen Virtue, when I did her course a long time ago, she said, we just deliver the message. And whatever we feel we need to deliver, let the people will pick up on that. And sometimes I'll have a card that it's totally got nothing to do with the reading we've discussed, but I'll explain what that card's about, and all of a sudden, bang, everything that they've been sharing, this was underneath it needs to come out, and then I can deal with that. That's what I often find too. People will sugarcoat what they've got, not all the time, but there'll be a sugarcoat. They'll talk about 15 minutes in, all of a sudden the real issue comes to the surface, and that's where the gold comes out, when you can really deal with that for people.
Absolutely. I was hoping for some more audience questions about you and what you're doing. We've had comments. I've been sort of putting them up as you've been talking. Okay, so I've just got a troll. I'm just
obviously we've expressed ourselves nicely enough, Rhonda.
That's right. Okay, so now I've got different types of trolls. All right, so I'm just deleting the comments. Did you say you wanted to do a sound healing or something?
No, but I can. No, I can.
No,
what I was saying is that because of the nature of the
you do it online.
It's impossible to take it. So I do it online. I mean, I actually, believe it or not, I did bring a bowl in to actually just play.
Sorry, I misunderstood. Maybe we'll end if you, unless you had anything else to say, maybe we'll end it on that.
No, I think we've done everything. There's one thing I will share, if I may, and I hope to promote this for you too. My business name is, which is what my partner and I had. So on the internet, you'll find me through Facebook, which is with my name. And what I do is I take a lot of photographs that I do and put reflective statements that's happening with what's occurring at the moment. I find them people tell me they're quite inspirational about what I do and keep telling me, keep putting them out. So if you go to my Facebook page, Leon Beaton, it's a public one, you'll be able to see my work that I do there.
Beautiful.
Also, my our business name that on Facebook that Trenia and I had was Quantum Healing Energies. So I fluctuate with those two things as well.
Okay.
But the one thing I want to share with you, there's a guy, I don't know if our audience know about a guy called Todd who has Soulology, Souloggy. He's an American guy that interviews people that are not your normal celebrities, but just normal, average run-of-the-mill people who have had some amazing experiences in their life. Next Sunday, 11 o'clock, I'll be having an interview with him. So I'm really looking forward to digging deeper into, what my life has been, the direction, leaving teaching, my divorce, all those things, and how it's actually come to where I am today to do what I'm about to do. So if anyone wants to tune in on that, feel free.
That's wonderful.
Really looking forward, because I love the way with the conversation style that he does and the way he drills people in to talk about their life and the impact that it can have for other people as well, which is what you've done nicely tonight with me too. So well done. I like
Absolutely. Well, thank you. I really, really appreciate your time, Leon. I might leave the screen then and let you do your magic with the sound bowls. I don't actually have them myself, so I don't know what you do.
Well, I'm going to share. I pulled this card earlier today.
Right.
For people, I needed to tune in and pull a card. This is from a deck called Sacred Rebels. And basically what it's about, and if it's appropriate for people, is letting go of relationships that need to be let go of. Or I could also put it for the audience as you need to speak your truth. You need to share what you need to share in the relationship, because either that or you're hiding it inside, which is also causing pain internally. And that's what this last 2 years has been about on one level, is actually, are we going to take this relationship to a whole new level, or is that relationship done and needs to end? So that, to me, is what that card was about.
Okay, beautiful.
And the other part about the sound healings up in the Blue Mountains, I'm open to doing, I've done this before too, where someone might organise for a party or someone's birthday, and they will have 8 or 10 people will come, and I'll actually do a sound session for them for about an hour and a half. So that's also part of what I do as well. So if people are open to that, feel free to actually come along. But this is just one bowl. I have probably about 20 odd bowls and other different sound instruments as well. So that's why I can't do it at the event. It would take too much to set up.
Yeah.
So what I ask the audience to do, just sit, close your eyes, and just tune in to let the vibrational sounds to connect where it needs to connect within your body. And just allow it to be.
Beautiful.
While I was playing, I just recalled too, there's two other products I'll be selling at the store will be the Egyptian oils that I have. They're pure,
Okay.
very high frequency oils. I use them all the time. I also would be I used them with Terenia when she was in palliative care. Very, very powerful, very healing in one respect. The other thing is too, I've also written 3 books. I've actually written 4 books, but 3 of them are photography books with photographs of mine with reflective statements about life. So I will have those available as well. That what I find when I use them, I'll say to someone, what book do you want? 1, 2, or 3? What page? I open it up, show them the picture, and often find the picture and the words are exactly what someone needs to hear. So they will be also on sale as well. I'll also have a number of selenite wands that I will have. This is one that is specifically made for the work that I do. This one will actually be with me, which is all for clearing. That's very powerful little crystal, this one that I've made. So there's others that will be available as well at a reasonable price. So that's what I'll be doing as well.
Yeah,
so
beautiful.
I look forward to seeing people. Feel free. And also down the track, I will be running a program for those, and be interested to see who comes to see me, is to be able to do a program up here for people who are actually, one is either, want to know more about the conscious dying, and also offering to be able to do a sound session for people up here as well in the Blue Mountain. But people can talk to me about that at the fair.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so you heard it from Leon Beaton about conscious dying with dignity and grace, and what he's got for offer on Saturday, the 5th of November. So you've got to come down. You've heard from a few of us now, and we're offering quite different things. So $5 entry if you pre-purchase your ticket, or $10 at the door, and that includes all of the talks, presentations, and your ticket goes into the raffle for a prize draw. Where you could win a psychic reading on a day, or a product, or something else. Yeah, so thank you, Leon.
Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you very much. And thanks for those people who did tune in to listen. Yes. I hope you got something from it, even just one little bit of wisdom that you can apply in your life to improve your life. That's what this is all about. So beautiful. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you on the 5th of November. Thank you. It's good that you got it all written there for me. No worries. Thank you.
Bye. All right, so that was Lenny D and Leon Beaton. So 2 amazingly gifted men. They're both psychic mediums, but Leon obviously is a practitioner of conscious dying with dignity and grace, which I personally feel there's a huge need for. And I could have talked to him about it for hours, but obviously I've only got limited time for the live. And the purpose of doing these lives is to interview 2 people that are going to be at the Psychic Fair on the 5th of November and learn about what they're doing, and hopefully come down and see them and ask them questions yourself. And Leon in particular is talking between 1 to 2 p.m. on conscious dying, so you'll be able to ask him questions. But thank you very much for everyone who's watched and tuned in. It looks like I had some trolls towards the end, but I've cleared them. So as Lenny reminded me, if you do have any people ask you to inbox them for a reading or anything like that, they're trolls, please report them on Facebook, block them, and let me know. And there was also, after last night's live, there was a fake profile created. I wasn't hacked, but it was a fake profile who sent a friend request to people. So thank you so much. I had about 18 people let me know and report it to Facebook to get that removed. So thank you so much to everyone who's been really switched on and let me know before I realised. So thank you for that. So stay tuned midweek for future. Well, it's basically one more week to go before then Saturday, the 5th of November. But stay tuned where you'll meet a couple of the other psychics and readers. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.